Well, I guess we should talk about before we finish the video or get into the video. Even we should talk about the guy that was just shot recently, Rayshard Brooks.
Yeah, that's what
Rayshard
is in the
Brooks.
thumbnail.
Yeah, which is
He
in the
doesn't bring that
thumbnail.
up in this video, does he?
No, this is way before
Yeah.
that incident. So, in case you guys are living under a rock, Rayshard Brooks was a guy who was shot while running away from the police in a Wendy's, and everyone was saying, "Oh my God, the cop shot another unarmed black man who's running away." And there was video. The first video that came up on the internet was after the shooting. And it was just people yelling at the cop saying, "How could you shoot him? He was unarmed and running away." You know, people just
He
going
was
off.
armed. What do you mean?
Well, this is what people. This is the first video though that comes
Oh,
out.
okay, gotcha.
And I'm like, don't comment on any of this shit until you get more information, because that's what
Yes.
they always say. Okay, you can never trust. Here's the thing: eyewitness testimony is like, I think it's like 50% accurate, right? It's a fucking coin
If
flip.
that.
You don't ever want to trust eyewitness testimony. Okay, so I'm like, just wait for more information. Wait for more information. But of course, the crowd, the woke skulls, they don't wait. They just everyone's up in arms. They create this whole narrative, another black man shot by the police. And this is bad because it locks you in to an opinion. Like it's easy to change your mind on something if you don't make up your mind on something, right? If I say, well, I'm not going to form an opinion on this incident till I see more information, I'm emotionally making it easy for myself to go wherever the facts lead me.
Yep.
But once you declare instantly, like, oh, this was an unjust killing, this was an innocent person, you're locking yourself in the position and you're making it so that you're not going to want to follow the facts. You're making it so you're going to want to justify whatever you believe already.
Yep. Yeah, it sucks. Especially when you post on social media, like you write it out, you make this huge declaration.
Yes.
You're like, I never want to go back on that. I'll look like an asshole.
Right. Exactly. That's true. It's even worse on social media. So then, of course, more video. Oh, and then so the story was like, this man was just sleeping in a Wendy's parking lot and the police killed him. And you're like, wait, this is like crazy, right? This is the problem. You always hear these like crazy stories that leave out so much context. So then anyway, more context, more video comes out. And it turns out that, first of all, this guy was drunk driving. Okay?
Yeah.
So already bad. He was in the Wendy's drive-through lane and he passed out. He was so drunk that he fell asleep
God,
while in the drive-through lane. Okay. And this is why the police came, because he was blocking the drive-through lane. I guess he wasn't waking up or wasn't moving or something. So they called the police. The police come. They give this guy a sobriety test. They're like, okay, this guy's fucking like wasted. I don't remember what his actual alcohol number was. So they go to arrest him, I assume, for drunk driving. The guy starts resisting arrest. And you can see this all in video. The cops are trying to arrest him. He's like flipping the cops over him. He punches one of the cops in the face.
Wow.
And they're like trying to, I think they either tase him or they're trying to tase him and it's not working.
He took the taser. That's why I was saying he's armed with the fucking cop's taser.
Right. So then he grabs one of the cops' taser. There's two cops. He grabs one of the cops' taser and he runs away. And as one of the cops chases after him, because he just stole a weapon from a police officer, the guy turns around and he shoots the taser at the police officer who's chasing him. Yeah. And I can't tell from the video. I can't tell if the cop dodges it or gets hit by it, because he kind of like does like a Matrix dodge move, and then they shoot him. And people are like, "Oh, you shot this guy who was fleeing." I'm like, what? The guy fucking punched a cop in the face while resisting arrest, while fucking drunk driving, stole a weapon from a cop and tried to shoot the cop with a taser. And people are still like, well, why didn't the cop use like ninjutsu to just knock the guy out without killing? I'm like,
see, and if you see this, all this is insanity, right? But if you see it through the lens of the social justice warrior, like that guy is fighting the brown shirts, the Nazi brown shirts. Of course you want him to win. It's the brown shirts.
I guess it's so insane. This is such a obvious case where the guy was wrong.
Yes, totally.
Okay. If you punch a cop in the fucking face, I don't have any sympathy for you getting shot. Unless that cop is like trying to like rape you. Okay. Like, God. This guy was drunk driving, clearly in the wrong. Okay. Endangering everyone around. And people keep saying, and it's funny because they're so uninformed about this. They're like, he was shot while fleeing. He was shot while fleeing. There are court cases where if you steal, or if a guy steals a weapon or has a deadly weapon, and the police have reasonable justification for thinking that you're an immediate threat to public safety, they can shoot you even if you're running away.
Yeah, totally.
So, especially when you just punched an officer in the face after drunk driving and then tried to shoot him with a taser. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty justifiable imminent threat for public danger. So
if you're gonna punch a cop, all bets are off. Like you're gonna go home and kill somebody. Like seriously.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
No sense of boundary.
Yeah, exactly. And it was this even crazy. There's this guy, I don't know how to say his name, Qasim Rashid, who is running for Congress. Yeah, in Congress in Virginia. And he posts this video of a cop interacting with some white guy, and this white guy's being crazy. And the cop is like trying to arrest the white guy, and the white guy refuses to be arrested. And he's like, he eventually ends up stealing the police car and doing all this crazy shit. And I'm like, why is he showing this video? This just shows you why the cop should shoot the guy who's running away, because he could steal your car and kill someone. But then he's like, no, this is proof. This is proof that they only shot this guy at the Wendy's because he was black. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. They shoot a lot of white people too. They do. It's like
they do.
Yeah.
They do. And one of the good points that Sam Harris brings up in his podcast is that, you know, he talks about the Tony Timpa video, which no one talked about till the Floyd incident because it was comparable, where Tony Timpa, who called the police on himself, which I didn't know that part of it, who was on some sort of drugs, he dies in almost the same way because the officers are holding him to the ground and he dies. And it's almost, you can say it's just as bad as the Floyd thing, or maybe a little worse because the cops are joking while he's dying.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize that he's dying. And Sam Harris brought up this great point where he says, imagine if Tony Timpa was black.
Oh my God.
Like the whole
be nuclear
world,
winter.
Yeah, like there would just been like this whole explosion of like, oh my God, these police are so racist, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the problem, is that people see this tiny window of what is reality, and they think of like what the news shows them, and they think that is reality.
It's gaslighting from the news. The news is so much of is to blame on the news. It's so bizarre. But you know, they gotta put that status quo narrative out there, which is the narrative that
anyway, let's
live in a police state.